And this week I'm talking about the symptoms of anxiety and stress. Some people don't realise that these symptoms are as a direct result of stress and anxiety. The first one, and a very familiar one to a lot of people, is anger. It's where you feel like your default setting is anger, where you feel defensive all the time, or you have flashes of rage or temper. Your defences are up. You're building barricades because you don't want people to affect you or let you in, or you're pretending that everything's all right where underneath you're seething. That's a very direct symptom of anxiety. The next one is fear. So many people I know, and you will know, live their life being scared, live their life being afraid of failure, of getting it wrong, of what ifs, what will happen. They constantly worry about everything, and they live their life in fear, and they let that fear control them. It can manifest itself in compulsive behavior, in phobias, and it can result in extreme behavior such as agoraphobia, claustrophobia. Fear is a very, very big symptom of stress or anxiety. The next one is panic. We hear a lot these days about people having panic attacks. They think they're having physical heart attacks and they don't see it coming. They don't understand why it's happening. They just feel their heart racing. They can feel themselves getting out of control, the palms sweating, and it can feel very much like something physical is happening. That will almost certainly be something buried in the unconscious, but that is very definitely a symptom of stress and anxiety. And then there's sadness. Some people find that a very familiar feeling. They feel sad all the time. They feel sorry for themselves all the time. Life is hard. Life is full of sadness and tears. They can't see the positive because they are focused on the sadness that is within them and that is all around them as far as they're concerned from their perspective. So ongoing sadness, which ultimately leads to depression, is very definitely a symptom of stress and anxiety. And finally, there's frustration. Frustration, very often the precursor to rage or temper. That is when nobody gets it. Nobody understands what you're going through. Nobody is behaving the way that you need them to behave. And why can't people do? And why don't they understand that? And why aren't they responding like you do to your life? All of those are the roots of frustration. And again, that is very definitely a symptom of anxiety. So you have the causes that create the anxiety. You have the anxiety and stress itself. And then you have the symptoms. And if you look at the symptoms, such as frustration and anger, and you lose your temper, then you end up back at the causes of guilt, remorse, regret, and that takes you back into the anxiety, which then creates the temper and the rage, which then creates the guilt and the remorse and the regret, and then it creates, can you see that that is a loop? Now what I can do is help you break out of that loop. So if you have any of those causes that I talked about on the last video, any of the symptoms that I've talked about on this one, then I can help. 3 sessions, 2 weeks, 1 brave message. Bye for now.